Bucks here. Today we're gonna tier rank the theme builders that were recently put out. We have 85s, 82s, and the 87 over there. There's some pretty good budget cards in here. So we, along with chat, are gonna go ahead and give our thoughts on where each one deserves. I think we're gonna go ahead and start from the top rope, just go down the overall bucket level. And obviously the higher overall, generally the better the card is. But team builder is kind of weird because some of the lower cards are actually better than some of the higher overall cards due to speed being this important and none of them really having any abilities that are worth anything. So first off the bat is Myles Garrett, right? 87 overall. Now in power level, it's an S tier, but like as far as pricing concerns, I feel he's more towards B. Like, he really doesn't seem to be worth it at all, in my opinion. Like, I've been using him. He is on my defense. I don't think he's making any more plays than, say, TJ Watt's 84 overall. Now, I do run a Steelers theme team, to be fair, but for, what, 900, 8 to 900K? I kind of rate him like a B, okay? And so we're going to just move on to the other ones. You guys can go ahead and let me know if you feel differently on that. So next up on our list will be 85s, Jack Conklin. Now, how much do you care about your offensive line? How much does it actually matter? This isn't real life football where offensive line is everything. Madden is coded in a way where every single offensive lineman has a timer with and like depending on how many players are rushing, like if you only rush 3 players, the timer is going to be like 6 seconds, okay? But if you're rushing 4, if you're rushing 5, the timer is lowered. So offensive linemen all have like a 2-second timer unless somebody glitches through, which will happen to any offensive lineman in the game. So offensive lineman is very hard, and I'm just going to go ahead and rate Conklin, even though I like the card, at C tier. Because spending that much on a lineman this early, you better have a God squad. You definitely want to fill out your other spots before you spend 300K on that position. Next up on the list is Cooper Kupp. He is 83 speed. There is nothing more I need to say about Cooper Kupp. That's an F tier card. It's not unusable, but without any good abilities, without speed, he's like 6'2", which is okay, but that's not what you want. Sam Laporta, 85 speed. So a tight end is 2 speed faster than a wide receiver. Sam Laporta has been an absolute difference maker for me out on the field. He's S tier for me. This is like, if you're gonna get an 85, this would probably be my #1 choice for an 85 out of this promo. I love Sam Laporta and the speed and the height that he brings to the tight end position. Next up, Baker Mayfield. Now, there's no abilities for quarterbacks, and 300K or thereabouts for a quarterback with no abilities, and he's much slower than guys at a lower overall, and he's gonna miss passes just like they do. This Baker Mayfield card, to me, he's definitely usable, but I'm gonna throw him in a D tier. So he's not that much better than Cooper Kupp, but I just feel like there is better cards for a better price out there, so it's not really worth it unless you really want your Tampa Bay, your Cleveland, Carolina theme teams. Joe Mixon, 85 overall with 83 speed. A slow running back, I would much rather have guys with quickness for an 85 price. That Mostert much better, so I'm gonna throw him in D tier also. Actually, I actually might go F tier. Mixon will go D tier. I kind of like sometimes how the Mixon cards run. I haven't used this one particularly because of the slower speed, but his cards in the past have done well. So D tier for me. Duron Payne, 76 speed at defensive tackle, 81 power move. His weight is 320 also. So this is a pretty good card overall. And so that's, I think, usable. Now, do you want to spend this much on defensive line when most of the blitzes are getting home through like glitches and other things like that? Maybe not, but I kind of like him. He might be a B tier for me for being a thick defensive tackle. We don't have a lot of top-end defensive tackles. I'm still running like Jordan Davis, 79 overall, who's actually kind of expensive for 79 overall because he's so good. 78 overall. Jordan Davis right here as my DT1, especially to stop the run because he's 355 pounds plus fast. Duron Payne, I'll keep him at the B tier. Again, pricey for a defensive tackle when they don't really, like with the shed timers and everything, they don't really cause that much of a difference. All right, so Jalen Phillips, the next 83 speed edge. He's he's the same speed as the 87 overall Myles Garrett, 83 off the edge. Plus he's got better finesse move, worse power moves. Block shed is worse, so he's obviously a step down from Myles Garrett. To get like a guy with 87 acceleration, 83 speed, and is going to perform very similar to Myles Garrett for what, a third of the price? That's not bad. So strictly based off price, we're going to go ahead and put Jalen Phillips. Now, he can't play defensive tackle. We're going to put him one spot ahead of Myles Garrett because he is that good. But similar problem with Payne is that, like, how much of a difference maker is it? So I do like him because so many people are scrambling. 83 speed off the edge is going to keep up with quarterbacks outside the pocket a little bit better than many other edges. So there's a lot of value there, I feel. Asante Samuel Jr., He's 5'10". I do like him tall. Like Darrelle Revis, who's similar height, has played really terrible for me. Like even though the speed is there, change of direction's only 83. Not that great of a run defender either. Only 39 block shed. Not that great of a tackler. He's gonna get run through quite a bit. I don't love the way Asante Samuel makes me feel. And for that reason, I am out. I am going to go ahead and put it, like, 85 speed's good, but I would much prefer someone like Tariq Woolen. So Asante Samuel for 300K, that's, I feel like, right there in the lineman tier of C tier. Oops, that's the Twitch chat. That's the wrong one. Okay, next up, we're down to the 82s. Nelson Aguilar, 83 speed team builder. I'm gonna go ahead and pass on that being that good. 83 speed, like with man coverage being the meta. Now I gotta find Aguilar. With man coverage being the meta, I feel like that's not something you want to be slow at. And so many cheap speed guys out there and quick. Okay, I'm having a hard time locating Aguilar. There it is, Nelson Aguilar. All right. Aguilar, he's slow. He's not as expensive as Cooper Kupp, so we'll give him up one more spot. That 82, same speed as an 85. What does that say? All right, let's just go on to Joe Tippmann. Let's just go right here. I think offensive line tier, 82 and 85 aren't going to play that much difference, so I'm going to throw them in the same tier. The only downside of the 85 is much more expensive, but I think I'm going to put basically the offensive linemen all in C tier, since that's kind of their value to your line. They're all here. So 70K, I feel like is pricey. 70K is pricey for an offensive lineman, as we are right now. Save that, save that, save that. Next team. Oh, sorry, next player. Defensive tackles. So we got Godchuk, 62 speed, 311 pounds, good tackling, and not much else. Okay block shed on him. I think the fact that he's got no speed makes him basically unusable. 62 speed. He's good to kind of stand there, but like if you do get off your block, and we all know the D tackle A gaps happen so frequently, like there'll be two guys there to block him, and they'll just kind of like slide through because the blocking mechanics is so bad. You need to be able to get a guy with like mid to high 70s speed to actually make the quarterback get punished, and not just have like Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, Anthony Richardson, the people that people are using, just roll out on you and get you away. When that game hands you a sack, you need someone that's going to take it. So 62 speed is just not what you need. At the defensive tackle spot. Sheldon Rankins, 70. Jerron Reed, like their block shed is so low, and their power and finesse moves that like these cards are really bad for the budget, right? Like I said, Jordan Davis, who is hard to get off the block to be fair because he's like 30K, will play significantly better than these cards. Like look at this 78 overall. Let me show you his attributes. Now obviously when I compare to Myles Garrett, it's not gonna look good, but like 76 speed, 83 acceleration, 85 strength, 78 block shed. For a 78 overall. Okay, sure, he doesn't have a lot of power moves, but he makes plays. And like these things like what, 7 more power moves? It's not even close. So the fact that these cards are basically non-competitive, I'm gonna throw them in the D tier. Like, you know what, they're maybe slightly better. Let's throw them all in the D tier. I think Godchuk's the worst of them though. We got defensive end, right end up next. Charles, we'll just say Charles. 73 speed. Now, 73 speed is definitely a number that I'd want on the interior of my defensive line. He is an end, so you could have him at D tackle. That is true. 81 power moves. Tex made a good point earlier that you kind of want more finesse moves in the interior, since guys like don't have as good a pass block finesse as they do with power. 81 power move is very respectable. Acceleration. I'm okay with this card, but it's still nothing too flashy. So I'm gonna go D tier, a little bit faster, maybe go down to F tier. It's just, I don't know, so bad. We'll leave it in D, I guess. I don't love the lack of anything worth it, but we'll go D tier with him. All right, tight end Orton. It's Otten, not Orton, of course. 79 speed at tight end, +1 on the theme team. Terrible. You got to get like Kyle Pitts with like 81 speed over Otten right there. Gus the Bus Edwards. I like him because he's 238. This card does have a role. That role is goal line work. Okay. Running dives, 81 speed, 78 acceleration. What's his jumping? I'm not sure he gets the Jimmy jump at 78 jumping. The Jimmy jumps where you hold like where you go up the line of scrimmage. I think it's left trigger and X, but it might just be X. I did it when I was holding on left trigger and X, but it might just be, or sorry, square on PlayStation, X on Xbox. He will fight for a yard, but it's almost better just a Jimmy jump for that yard since it's so overpowered and broken. But because Gus has a role at 238 pounds, I think he's going to go in C tier for me. He's going to go in the lineman tier. Next up, Diablo. Guy's name's Diablo. Bro is 86 speed. This card is an absolute must-add, very important insane superstar. Get this card on even God squads. Best team in the league, in the game. You spent $10,000 so that way you can feel good about yourself on this game. Diablo's on that team. 100%. Whether it's kickoff coverage, if he's middle linebacker, do kickoff coverage, like you got goal line formations. You need this card. This one's good. Send it. Next up. Anthony Walker, middle linebacker. Let's go take a look. Let's take a look at the middle linebackers here. Let's go ahead and do Campbell, 84 speed. I love it. I love it, especially at 6'5", 250. So if you're both your middle linebackers are 89 acceleration, 87 agility. Now, change of direction ain't great, but if both your middle linebackers are Campbell and Diablo, you're actually not doing too bad. You are really not doing too bad. Now, the zone coverage is really low, but we know Bobby Wagner's also got 57 zone. So what does that mean? Okay, obviously, you know, zone is so bad. Sure, you won't be able to knock the ball out as well when they get contact some of over the middle, but 6'5", 249, you are going to be laying hit sticks like crazy for Campbell. Now, he's not as good as Diablo, but he's definitely a card you want. Like Walker, similar speed, but he's 6'1", right? 6'1", 235. So you're losing 4 inches of height, of length, and you're losing, what, 15 pounds? Otherwise, he's also got worse change of direction and agility. So basically how we're going to do this is Jack Campbell, he is a step down due to 2 speed less than Diablo. He's got 2 more inches and 2 less speed, something that our wives would like, but Madden's reversed from real life. And then Walker's still solid. I'm going to go B tier with Walker for that speed in the middle. And then Singleton is the slowest of the bunch. Singleton at 82 speed is probably just not even worth grabbing. Put him in F tier. If his competitions are those cards, you're not getting Singleton. Arden Key, outside line. All right, let's do the Robes and Lobes next. Outside linebackers. Bond is 83. Arden Key 76. Pete Werner 81. Now Pete Werner and Zach Bond are strictly drop linebackers, and we just got through drop linebackers being 84 and 86 speed. So, Bond, you know what? Change of direction low, agility low, acceleration low. Bond is not going to make it. Pete Werner, also not a pass rusher. He's definitely not invited to the barbecue. Werner is the worst. This card should not be on your field. Bond is usable-ish, so we're going to go C tier, but there's no reason why you get them over, unless it's a theme team. I guess a theme team, 84 speed, and if you don't have a Lions theme team, but I don't know if I can count that. Arden Key. Arden Key is the slowest, but he's got 85 finesse move. So I can see the argument around using him at an edge as like his literal design, right? Speed rusher. The problem is 76 speed. If guys get outside the pocket, you're going to be 5 speed lower than a lot of people running Lamar. So while you will get, you know, pass sheds at 85 finesse move, again, we talk about those timers. Those affect the defensive line as much as they affect the offensive line. So even though you have a high finesse, you will get home. It's still going to be almost as long as anybody else. So it's really tough because I like the finesse moves a ton. I really do. But the speed is such a killer. It's so important out there to be fast on the field. I want to rate him higher, but I think he goes to C tier also. It's just so tough to have slow cards in this game. All right, wide receivers are next. We already did Aguilar. We got Moore and Dell. Okay, Moore's the fastest. Tank Dell, he's pretty quick IRL too. There's no abilities in this game, so the only 2 things you're really looking at: height, speed. Tank Dell at 84 speed. It's pretty average right now for the teams that you'll face. Rondell Moore at 85 speed is pushing the more upper bounds. Obviously in a theme team he gets to 86, which is the same as Tyreek. A lot of cards are now hitting that theme team 87 though. They're only 82s, okay? But being 5'7" comes with a lot of downsides. Like guys will go ahead and just like reach through you and grab the ball, right? You can't really box them out being a small guy if you are throwing near coverage at all. I like it. I don't love it. Tank Dell being small and not overly fast, that feels like a C tier. And for the extra +1 speed, at least on drag routes, kick returns, that kind of stuff. And then like, don't forget when you're small, you also take harder hit sticks from guys like Jack Campbell. Weight plays an effect. And then when you take a harder hit stick, the mathematics favor the defense, and therefore you get a better chance at fumbling with these guys. So you really want to be running out of bounds with small players. All right, next up. Wait, who's left? We got corners. We got corners and safeties left. All right, let's just go ahead and filter for them all. Defensive backs, okay? So, 82 speed, Shaq Griffin, Harrison, and then Thornhill is the fastest at 85. Thornhill's actually 6 foot, too. I like this Thornhill. Like we've talked about, we're not hitting 90 overalls on a lot of these zone coverages. We're not even getting close, but at least he's 75. In previous years, it was 75 and 90 were the thresholds. I don't know what they are this year. I have not seen testing on it. I have not tested myself. 85 speed, that can definitely play. I think 85 speed instantly takes him up. Maybe not in pure Diablo territory, but 85 speed is absolutely A tier. This could be a starting free safety for anybody, okay? Then we're gonna go ahead and gonna get rid of the 83 speeders. All 83 speeders, Hill, Mills, Rap, Saint. Are there any hitters? I like 6'3", 200. Any of these got hit power? Block shed super low, hit power 48. Rap, hit power 78. Okay, that's a little bit better. Not the greatest. Mills 68. Hill 38. Okay, so Hill and St. Justine, the corners. Hill, I'm just gonna go ahead and say don't get him. I can see if you do believe in like the nickel spot being tall. Rap definitely has value at 6'3" in your nickel. I almost want to say 83 speed is like just don't even use them. Wait, did I say Rap? Wait, no, I wanted St. Justine here. Sorry, St. Justine is who I'm talking about. Like for the nickel slot, I think D tier. I think 83 speed is not great for what you want in that spot, but for nickel, I can see the value at the height and length, that kind of stuff, along with like, you know, it'd be 84 speed on your theme team. But if you ever have to play man coverage, you're getting smoked, okay? And then we have the guys that are a little bit faster. I didn't say Rap. Rap's got hit power, but D tier for Rap. Next up, Shaq, Harrison, and Mills. Mills was 83 speed too. He was not great either. So Mills is very similar right here to Rap. D tier. All right, so the good cards. Shaq and Harrison. That's how much speed matters, bros. That's how much speed matters. Ronnie Harrison Jr. is 6'3", 214, run support, 84 speed. Now, we talked about how important that 84 speed was on Jack Campbell at 6'5". So this is basically, you know, a slightly smaller, similar speeded Jack Campbell, better change of direction, worse agility. You know, hit power at 83 is also decent. So if you want to run this as your nickel and then run the Diablo and Campbell, that's actually pretty decent. These are actually pretty decent cards to compete and win games online in MUT. So I think this card has a ton of value for that spot being this big. If you're going to use the other two, which I would personally. Now, I've heard linebackers jump. I don't know if they jump as much as safeties, but Harrison, I do believe. I almost want to go A tier for that just alone, right? So that's what we're kind of go with. Man, but Thornhill at 85 speed feels so much better. He can't hit as well, but he can move. We'll leave him in the same tier, even though Thornhill is better than Harrison due to the extra speed. And then we have last up is the Shaq Griffin card. Shaq Griffin, 6 foot flat, 198 with the okay movement skills, 84. So I feel like this is a nice C tier card himself. So there is the tier list. Hope you guys enjoyed it. There's the top two, Laporta and Diablo. A tier, B tier, C tier, D and F. There's some really good cards in this one. Thanks for watching. Call to action. I'll see you tomorrow.